Hey everybody, John Hill here, Hillco Bees. It is December 22nd of 2020. Nice winter day here in central Illinois, about 45 degrees or so. A little bit breezy, but not too bad. I wanted to give you all a little quick video of showing how I feed bees in the winter time, or how I'm doing it this winter, and a couple other quick little things. Just want to encourage everybody out there to really be diligent on keeping these bees fed. It's especially important in a winter like this. So far as we're having here in Illinois, a pretty mild winter. Warmer weather means the bees are more active, they're going to consume more stores, and obviously a bigger risk of them starving out. So really important to keep up on it. I try to choose a nicer day like this one, 40 degrees or so or better if possible. If not, anything over about 30 degrees is fine, even in the mid-20s if it's a decent day where you got some nice sun and not crazy blowing wind or snow. I would err on the side of just getting in there and feeding them rather than being too worried about the cold, because you make it a quick in and out thing. I'll show you here real quick. I've already fed these hives, but I'll just show you quick what they look like. We're using a kind of a sugar patty method. Let me turn the camera around here and show you what we're doing. All right, so I got all these hives. We got 31 hives here at the house. They're on single deep brood chambers on 4-way migratory pallets. I don't use the migratory pallets because I move the bees a lot. I just use them because I like how clean they are, and just nice and concise, and they're cheaper than regular bottom boards. It just kind of works out nicely for me. But anyway, I'll open a hive here. You can see the girls are pretty well clustered around around them sugar patties. There was some that were in there already, and some I just added, and I'll shut them up real quick here. But that's pretty common example of what I tend to see on these hives, like that. And so I just go in there real quick, in and out. These sugar patties you can choose a lot of different ways to feed in the winter time. Some people choose dry sugar. They'll lay down a little bit of newspaper on top of the top bars of the frames and use some dry sugar. Just pour some on top. That has kind of a double value because on one hand it gives them some emergency feed, but also that dry sugar helps to absorb the moisture that the bees create from the humidity of their cluster. So I turn around again here. There we go. As you can see here, I've actually got a moisture board, which I sell these on the website, and some of you have them. Get the light right here. But this half-inch fiber board here, as you can see, right between the top and this feeding shim here, that moisture board absorbs that moisture. That's the way I'm doing it. But again, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Some people use burlap. Some people use fancier Vivaldi board is a common way to do it. But anyway, as far as methods of feeding, that dry sugar method is one good option. Again, it gives them some feed, plus it helps absorb that moisture. Also, some people make a fondant up. There's recipes online for making fondant, which is more of a kind of a creamier, more pliable type of feed that's easy to handle, easy to get on top of the bees. Personally, right now, I had a bunch of corn syrup that was high fructose corn syrup in barrels that I feed with in the spring, and it was some of it had crystallized in a barrel, so I cut the barrel open and had this real thick corn syrup granulation in there. And so we dipped a bunch of that out, and we mixed it with dry sugar and made kind of patties and wax paper, as you saw inside the hive there. And the bees are really taking to it really good right now. Part of that is because, again, as you can see in the pictures here, as I mentioned, I'm doing all overwintering in all single deep brood boxes this winter. And I'll tell you real quick, some of you asked about that. The reason I'm doing it is not because of greed or desire to take every drop of honey. It's got nothing to do with that. It's because I find that the hives are a lot easier to manage and keep up with in the wintertime, because I've seen way too many hives where I have left box after box of honey on in the wintertime, and thought I was doing right by the bees, and I was, I guess, but too many times I'd see those hives starve out. And not because they didn't have enough honey in the hive, but because in the wintertime you get a real cold snap, the bees stay clustered up. They won't break cluster because of the temperature, and so because they won't break cluster, they'll run out of food right where they're at, and they won't move to where the rest of the honey is at elsewhere in the hive. And so I've seen it happen too many times, is why I think, you know what, just go down to a single brood box, keep some sugar on them, keep plenty of honey in that brood box. I left, you know, we had these boxes all pretty well packed with honey, but keeping the sugar patties on them, just an emergency, kind of an insurance policy. Now that's not to say, don't get me wrong, that's not to say that those of you who are leaving a lot of honey on, 2 brood boxes or maybe an extra super or 2 on top of that, you're definitely not doing the wrong thing. I'm not implying that. I'm just saying there's a lot of different ways to do it right. This is the way I'm trying out this winter. I'm kind of going all in on this method for the first time, and so far so good. We got 31 out of 31 hives here. Trying to get them in the picture. 31 out of 30, sorry, I'm gonna try that again. 31 out of 31 hives here, going strong yet. They all looked real good. I just fed them all here. Just a quick update on the mite treatments. I treated with formic acid back in late August, early September. And then I went back in here in mid-November to early December, did a couple of oxalic acid vapor treatments. The reason I did that so late is because, again, with the mild winter, mild fall we've been having here so far, I was in the hives in like mid-November and still saw open brood and a lot of drones yet. And so I wanted to wait until as much of that brood got emerged as possible, because oxalic acid works the best in a more or less broodless colony, because the oxalic can't reach the brood and the mites that are under the cap. And so anyway, quick update there again for you newer beekeepers out there. Please be diligent, especially this winter, of checking your hives and keeping some emergency feed on them, whatever method you choose. I'll keep you posted here how things are going, and everybody have a Merry Christmas.